Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm just gonna be speaking about my depression and just a lot of things that cause my depression, if that makes sense. It's gonna be like a story time because I don't know where to start or what to talk about for real, so I'm just gonna go with the flow. So we're just gonna start with when I was younger. I'm sorry, Mom, but you're just gonna have to hear all of this, and hopefully you understand. And if you have questions, we can talk about it. But let's just get into the video. So my depression started when I was like pretty young, and I'm 20 now, by the way. I might not look it, but I'm 20 now. So I hate talking about this because it makes me cry sometimes. So just if you see any tears, don't mind it. So my depression started when I was younger. I've been through a lot as a kid. I done been, I done seen some things, I done been through some things, some kids have, but it is what it is. So my videos are just gonna be video diaries now, speaking about how I'm feeling this day and how I'm feeling, So this is just part one. And hopefully you guys continue watching me and coming with me through my journey of dealing with depression and just life in general. So part one of my video. So like I was saying, my depression started when I was younger up until now. So as I'm, growing up, I'm like seeing different things and, experiencing different things. I was a happy child, well, I was pretending to be happy, but the whole time I was not happy. Some people can fake it till they make it, but me, there's times when I can't take it and I start to cry, just go somewhere and I start crying. And I didn't know I was dealing with depression until, my doctors were like, yeah, Marria, you're dealing with depression, anxiety, you're bipolar, or this, and it was like, it probably wasn't showing as much as it is now. So when I was younger, it wasn't showing as much, but I was dealing with depression, but it just wasn't showing as much as it is now. So I started noticing that I was depressed a little bit around like, not like 1, 2, or 3 like years old. Like it was like a little bit like after that, maybe you want to say like 6 or 7, first grade. And I'm not sorry, my memory is kind of bad. Like I don't remember how old I was in first grade. Like I want to say like, what grade are you, how old are you when you're first grade? I think like 6 or 7. I think so, if I'm not mistaken. My memory is just, yeah. So I'm gonna just say, I'm not gonna say the age, it's just first grade. That's when it started. But it kind of started a little before that because, like I said, I'm not knowing, my dad, he was in and out of my life, but he was there, but he was in and out of it because he decided he wanted to do his own thing, He felt like he possibly wasn't ready to be a dad, but he was ready. So, but that's when I was younger, so I can't, you can't really tell when you have depression when you're that young. But when I started growing up, I started noticing like I didn't want to do certain things. Like I didn't really want to interact with people like that. I've always was to myself, and everybody would notice it, but I wouldn't speak. I wouldn't tell them what was going on because I felt like they wouldn't understand and they wouldn't know how to help. But deep down, I know I need help. Like deep down, I know I need help. So, when my mom decided she wanted to be with her boyfriend and go to Florida and just leave me and my sister with my auntie, that kind of hurt me. And, I was with my auntie for some years. Basically my mom raised me for a little bit, and then my auntie raised me for a little bit. And when it was time for my mom to come and get me, I didn't even want to go with her. Like, I was so upset that I didn't even want to, like, go back home with my mom because I was so like mad and sad at the same time that she thought it was okay to leave us like that for so long. And you know, my mom has her stuff, you know. I'm not saying my mom was the worst mom, but she wasn't the best mom. And you know, that took a that took a little toll on me. That I had to sit there and be raised by my family members. I mean, everybody goes through things, and everybody, you know, some parents aren't the best, and you have some parents that are amazing parents. But in this case, my mom wasn't the best mom. My dad wasn't the best dad. Okay, so I'm over here kicking and screaming, not wanting to go with my mom, but I finally gave in and was like, okay, I'm gonna be with my mom. Like, I really did not want to go with her. So I go with her, my sister goes with her, and you know, things were cool, whatever, but my mom decided she wanted to have this boyfriend and that boyfriend, just different guys. And you know, I'm growing up seeing this, and you know, people thought like I would be like my mom, and I hope to hell that I wasn't like her. Like, I just hope, like, I don't want to be like my mom. I don't want to be like my mom, you know. Everybody kept on saying that I would be like her, but I was putting in my head that I don't want to be like her. I won't be like her, because you know, they were seeing what she was doing, and they thought that would affect me because I was the only girl at the time. Well, I was the second oldest, but I'm the girl, you know. I'm the second girl out of, you know, my brother, then me, then my little sister, and then I had another sister along the way. But they just thought that would affect me, you know, because I'm the oldest, I'm the second oldest, and you know, I'm seeing everything. My sister's not really can't really process everything because she's younger than me. So I'm seeing all this, and plus my brother was with, you know, his dad. So that's why I'm saying that, like, I was the oldest because my brother wasn't around. He was with his dad. So it was just me and my sister. So I'm witnessing all of this, and they're thinking like, oh, she's gonna be like her mom. She's gonna do it. Like, no. So like I said, I'm seeing, you know, her going from this guy to this guy, and just, I felt, looking back at it, I felt like she was choosing her boyfriends over her own kids. And you know, needless to say, it kind of was true. And so I'm just, you know, I'm finally back with my mom, and you know, things were cool at first, like, cool. And then something happened. When I was 10 or 11, my granddad thought it was okay to molest me. And this happened after my dad came to visit me. And I started having an anxiety attack and all this other stuff. Like, no, actually, this was before. Like, my dad was like, he's gonna come, da da da. He doesn't come. So I'm having an anxiety attack and all this because I'm getting my hopes up. Like, I'm thinking my dad's gonna come and visit me. Like, I'm a little girl. Like, I'm happy that my dad, like, I was a daddy's girl. Like, I was happy that my dad was coming to see me. I was a daddy girl, but I wasn't a daddy's girl because, you know, my dad wasn't really, like, in my life like that, but he was in my life, if that makes sense. So it was the day that my dad was supposed to come, and he didn't, so I had an anxiety attack. And then the next day my dad came, you know, and then after my dad left, that's when my granddad molested me in the pool. And that took a toll on me. I was traumatized. I, like, the day that my dad leaves, I get molested. And I just was disgusted by myself. I didn't like myself. I, you know, just completely closed everybody out. Like, didn't want to deal with nobody. I told my mom, I told her boyfriend at the time. Them two believed me, but my grandma didn't. And that's what really hurt me, is that my own grandma did not believe me. And that really hurt. So I didn't talk to my grandma for a while. And, you know, I was so hurt. And, you know, everybody kept on asking me, did he really do this? Like, did he really do that? Like, da 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 da. But I told them that he did. They believed me, but they wanted to make sure, like, before, like, they just accuse him of something like that, did he really do it? And I wouldn't lie about something like that. So that whole situation, like, caused me to not want to be alive. Like, I started lashing out. I started having little episodes, getting mad, just crying out of nowhere. I've attempted suicide like maybe once or twice in that year. And yeah, I just, like, do you not know what that does to a child? You know, like, and my grandma did not believe me for years. Like, she really did not believe me. Like, she wanted to believe me, but she just didn't. And that kind of hurt, like I said. And, you know, I started, you know, just, like I said, I just stopped being myself. I wasn't really happy anymore. You know, I was not happy about my size. I'm still not, but I try to, you know, let it just, yeah. So, like, I, like, stopped eating. I was barely eating, you know, always in my room, always on my phone. Didn't want to talk to nobody, didn't want to be around nobody. I stopped doing certain things. Like, I'll still go do things with my family, but I wasn't really interacting with everybody like that for real. Like, there's moments where I'll be happy, there's moments where I'll be sad. So, just dealing with all that and keeping all of my feelings bottled up, that kind of made me even depressed more, because I wasn't talking about it, and I wasn't, you know, telling anybody about how I felt at those times. I might have committed suicide like a couple more times later on in my life, because I have nightmares about that, you know. I sometimes try not to think about it, but in the back of my head, it just comes back to me, and I just sit there and cry. There's a lot of other things that, you know, I done witnessed and I done been through that nobody else knows about. Like, and I'm sorry, Grandma, but I didn't, you know, witness my grandma doing drugs and all types of stuff like that as a little kid, you know. Don't nobody need to, you know, go through that. And nobody knows she doesn't do drugs anymore, but this is just, you know, what I seen growing up. You know, my mom not really being there, my dad not really being there, and just me being molested and just all types of stuff. And it hurts to say, but I kind of hated my mom at some point. You know, I hated my dad at some point, and just recently, like a few months ago, I forgave him. I've been forgiving my mom, but I just won't forget, like, her, you know, deciding that her boyfriends were more important. And I won't forget the boyfriends that would come in and out of my household, you know. There's just, I don't know really what else to say, but then, you know, I kind of was, you know, getting out of that depression a little bit, and, you know, found ways to cope with it by drawing or listening to music, but I felt like those things weren't helping. You know, I talked to my mom about maybe possibly getting a therapist or something like that, and just, you know, things like that to help me. And like I said, she would listen, but I don't think she was really listening. Like, she heard me, but she wasn't listening. And when I'm talking, I like to be listened to. I know you hear me, but I like to be listened to. I don't want to just be heard. I want to be listened to. Like, I want to make sure that you're listening to me when I'm talking. So I just felt like all these years she wasn't really understanding. Like, she'd always tell me I could talk to her about certain things, but sometimes she'll take things the wrong way. And me being sensitive, when somebody like just yells at me just slightly, I cry a little bit, because like I don't like being yelled at. Like, I'm a sensitive person. I'm already going through enough. Like, why are you yelling? And I'm just talking to you, and that makes me raise my voice. And yeah, like, then I had this boyfriend, and it didn't work out very well. Then I had this boyfriend, didn't work out very well. And then when I was 18, I thought I met somebody that was worth giving a try to, and I was wrong. I thought that I loved this person, and that this person loved me. He might have at the time, but then later down the road, didn't seem like it anymore. He would get mad at certain things that I did, even though it wasn't what he thought it was, and I never dealt with somebody that had kids before. So, and my family kept telling me not to deal with him no more, not to do this, not to do that, but I continuously kept dealing with it. It's just a lot. Like, I was so tired of dealing with other people, that I felt like this person was meant for me, but turns out he wasn't. And then it turned into abuse. It turned into death threats. I tried to commit suicide dealing with this person. I got even more depressed, and that's probably why my weight is shifting, and I'm not losing weight, but I'm not gaining weight either. So my weight is just stuck, because I've been stressing myself out. Like, when I was like maybe 15 or 16, I dropped out of school. I tried to go back to school, and then dropped out again. Tried to go back, dropped out again. I just don't think school is for me. School's not for everybody, and those that might judge, I can care less. Like, this is just how I feel. I just feel like school's not for me, even though you need school in order to get a good career in life. But I've known there's some people that don't go to school, that don't have their GED or whatever, that are still successful in some way. I might be wrong, but I know you don't always need school to be successful. There's other outlets. So that kind of made everybody mad that I didn't want to go to school. And then I was going from this job to that job to this job to that job, only because I don't want to work for anybody. And I feel like working for somebody is just a lot more stressful. Even working for yourself is stressful, but that's what I want to do. But right now, I'm at this point in my life where I don't know what I want to do. And I'm only 20 years old, and I still don't have my life figured out. But it's going to take some time. You're going to go through your trials and tribulations and all this other stuff before you really find what you want to do. And my family doesn't really care about what I want, obviously. They just want what they want. Like, what about what I want, It's like, they can either understand or they don't understand. But at the end of the day, I'm grown enough to make my own decisions. And that's what I'm going to do. Make my own decisions. And right now I'm taking a pause on working, to find myself and, focus on my mental health and just my health in general. And, hopefully I have that support behind me. So, I mean, now I have a boyfriend, he makes me happy. Like, he's supportive, he understands. He tries his best to, not really get me to the point where I'm sad. He tries to talk to me all the time, and, I appreciate him for that. So, while I'm rambling on, it's like, I'm just talking about certain things that's going on with me and, dealing with depression. And I want to be a voice to those that are scared to, talk about it and express themselves. I've held in so much, and that's probably why nobody knew what to do or how to help, because I've never really talked about certain things. I still don't talk about certain things, but this is my moment right here to let you guys know that if you're dealing with depression, that it's okay. You're gonna go through things. You're gonna feel a certain way. You're gonna feel, down. You're gonna feel like you don't love yourself. And I feel like that sometimes. Like, I feel like I don't love myself. Like, it's times like I want to give up, but I try to keep pushing. There's times where I just stay in bed all day, don't want to do anything, like just sit there. But now it's like I gotta be a little bit more productive, and just even if I'm not working right now, I try to find little things to keep my mind occupied and just keep my mind off of being suicidal. And I've been like that for a while, like and when I attempted the last time, I ended up in the hospital, and they're trying to put me in a facility, all this other stuff. I think it was like inpatient or outpatient, one of those. And it was like, if you don't go, then da 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 da, and I didn't go. And then my mom had to like hide my pills and stuff from me, so that I wouldn't try to attempt it anymore. Just like I just want to say that if you're going through depression like I am, just hang on. You might not feel like nobody loves you, but they do. I feel like that sometimes. I feel like nobody loves me, but I know that they do. I feel like nobody really wants me around, but I know that they do. That's just how I feel. It's not like they necessarily that's how they really feel. Like, that's how they really feel, like they don't love me or just like that. That's just how I feel. And I'm struggling with my weight right now. Like, I'm really small. Like, and I need some tips on how to gain weight. And maybe if I stop stressing so much, and maybe I'll gain some weight. But moral of the story is, if you have depression, just speak out. Talk to somebody. And I'm giving that advice because that's what I need to start doing. I need to start talking and speaking and telling people how I really feel about certain things. And if they don't understand, just let it ride. And then you have some that will support you through it all, help you. You have that foundation, that support, all of that. And there's some people that don't know what to do, so they'll try to get you a therapist because they feel like that's the best way to help you, because they don't know how to help for real. But that's their way of helping, is by getting you somebody that's professional that can help you get through all those obstacles in your life. And I just want to be a voice to those that are dealing with depression, that are scared to speak, and that are just like me, that attempted suicide multiple times, or just stopped eating, or just stuff like that. Like, there's times where I go days, or like maybe like 1 or 2 days without eating, and then the next day I'm like hungry. I'm like, oh, I'm eating like this, and then I go another 2 days without eating. I'll just sit in bed. Sometimes I won't even shower. Like, it's okay. It's normal. It's normal. But you got you. If nobody else has you, you got you. And there's some people that deal with depression so bad that they really do, like, completely off themselves, and they're no longer here. And those of you that lost your kids to depression, or just anything in general, I pray for you guys. And I just want to, say sorry for your guys' loss. But those of you who have kids with depression, check on your kids, let them know that you love them. Try to get them help, I might not have it, but I want those that do have that source of help to get help. Whether you talk to them yourself or whether you get them a therapist, do something to show them that you're willing to help them get through that rut in their life, And for me, I need to do the same thing. Just reach out and get help for myself. And that's all I wanted to say. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll be posting more videos and just, you know, being consistent about making these type of videos. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.